Today, we're breaking down a really crucial survey on rebreathers. And listen, for anyone in the dive industry, especially if you're an instructor or a shop owner, this data points to a massive, and I mean massive, hidden opportunity for growth.
So let's just dive right in with the single most important number from this entire thing, 56.7%. You're going to want to remember that number because it could be the key to your business's future in tech diving.
So what is that number? Well, that's the percentage of open-circuit divers who say they are open to trying a rebreather. Think about that for a second. This isn't some tiny niche market anymore. We're talking about over half of your potential customers. So let's unpack this data and figure out exactly how to reach them. Here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll get inside the heads of current rebreather divers, what makes them tick. Then, we'll look at what's holding back that huge untapped market. And finally, the most important part, we'll lay out exactly how your business can bridge that gap.
Okay, so we know the market is there, but if we really want to bring them on board, we have to first understand the insiders. You know, the divers who have already taken the plunge and committed to rebreathers. What really motivates them to make that kind of investment in gear and training?
So, what's it like from inside the rebreather community? What truly drives these divers? Well, the survey data gives us a surprisingly clear answer about what they value the most.
And the numbers here really don't lie. For current users, it is all about practical performance. The top reason with a huge score of 9.0 is extended range, the ability to go deeper for longer. Right behind that, more efficient decompression. You see, the quiet, bubble-free experience is nice, it's a bonus. But for these guys, it's the mission capability that comes first.
And it's not just about what's in the chart. When you dig into the actual comments, you find out even more. Divers talked again and again about the significant savings on gas costs, especially helium, and how much simpler the logistics become for remote trips. I mean, those are incredibly powerful selling points for any dive operation. And check this out. Their confidence in the technology is just staggering. Over 2/3 of the people currently using rebreathers believe they won't just be an option, but the dominant way people tech dive within a decade. For them, the future is already here.
Okay, so now let's flip the coin and look at it from the outside. We know that 56.7% are interested, so what are the real barriers that are stopping them from taking that next step?
Now this is where it gets really interesting. Just look at the massive gap in this data. With a score of 7.8, cost isn't just a barrier for potential customers. It's the overwhelming first thing they think about. This perception of price is the single biggest hurdle your business has to overcome.
And this next part is fascinating. The second biggest hurdle isn't something technical like complexity or maintenance. It's just inertia. It's comfort. This tells us it's not just about arguing over the price tag. For your business, it's about answering that fundamental question. Why should I change something I already know and really enjoy? Okay, so this brings us right to the heart of the matter. The gap between how people see things and how they really are. When we put the views of the insiders and the outsiders side by side, the real business opportunity becomes incredibly clear.
This right here, this is the whole disconnect in a nutshell. Current users, the insiders, they believe the key to growing the sport is all about improved safety. But your potential customers, they're completely 100% fixated on cost. This means you might be out there selling a message about safety while your audience is only hearing the cha-ching of a price tag.
And you see the same exact disconnect when it comes to logistics. Current users see their rebreathers as a way to make remote trips way easier. But potential users see the exact same thing, the prep, the maintenance, as this huge, scary barrier. This is a classic marketing challenge, and it's a huge opportunity to reframe a perceived negative into a massive selling point.
And this right here, this quote from a diver in the survey, it just perfectly nails the chicken and egg problem that stops interested customers dead in their tracks, right? How can they possibly commit thousands of dollars to a course that's specific to one unit when they have no idea which unit is even right for them in the first place?
So, with all this data in hand, we can build a pretty clear strategy. Let's translate these insights into concrete, actionable steps that your dive business can take right now to bridge this gap and capture this market.
Okay, so the data pretty much hands us a 4-step playbook. Step 1, reframe the conversation about cost. Stop talking about the initial price and start talking about the long-term gas savings. That directly counters their number one fear. Step 2, you got to attack that inertia by offering try-dives so customers can actually feel the difference instead of just hearing you talk about it. 3, demystify the logistics. Run hands-on workshops that turn that perceived barrier into a real benefit. And finally, step 4. Solve that chicken and egg training problem. Create low-commitment intro sessions. Let divers try a unit before they have to commit to a full, expensive course.
You know, when you boil it all down, what this survey's really telling us is something powerful. Your role as a dive center or instructor isn't to convince people to be interested in rebreathers. The interest is already there, in over half of your customer base. Your real job is to make it easier for them to act on that interest by systematically taking away these barriers one by one.
So the data is clear. The opportunity is real, it's significant, and frankly, it's just waiting there for savvy dive businesses to seize it. The only question left is, how are you going to bridge that gap? Thanks for joining us.